part 2 of the worst customer I ever had as a GameStop employee. So if you go back, we're talking about Stain guy, the guy that had the big nine. Go back to the first video. It explains him and a lot of context to this and some of the things he did. Also, just be careful because the video right after that has some pictures. Has a picture. Anyways, related to another dude that was gross. But, so part 2, as I said, the guy was standing there telling us all about how he was a victim, and how the 5 stores, separate stores he'd been banned from, the 5 like small GameStops game stores he had been banned from, was all he was a victim, and that people just didn't recognize how elite of a Magic the Gathering player he was and how dedicated he was. My dude. So one of the other stores was just because he was being an incel. Like he refused to play with women, and he would give entire speeches about how women's brains were different and they weren't made for any kind of gaming. It didn't matter if it was D&D, Magic the Gathering, video games. He would not play with women, and he didn't believe women should even be allowed near that stuff or even allowed in stores unless they were bringing food for their partners. Like, yeah. So he ended up getting kicked and banned from that one. Once again, he believes that he was not at fault for that he was doing the right thing and that people were just dumb for letting women in. So he didn't see anything wrong with getting banned from that one. So then he goes to another one. Like I said, I don't know the exact order that he got banned from them, but so the other one comes along. He ends up getting banned for being inappropriate with items like merchandise. So he was buying this merchandise. It wasn't like he was doing it with like random merchandise, but he was still being inappropriate with stuff he would bring in. For example, you know how we talked about how he had a brony deck? Yeah, if you don't know, Magic the Gathering has 2 different series with My Little Ponies. Like, it's collabs, so there's My Little Pony cards, which I'm not trying to dog all My Little Pony fans, but you know the type. If you're a fan, even, you know the type even more. But Guy would get very inappropriate with, like, figures and like cards and stuff that he would have. He would just, like, he was caught several times, like, kind of like rubbing it against his chest apparently, and he was as he's telling us about this, he's trying to make it seem like it's normal too. He was like, well, all fans get, a little aroused, and I was just doing it for good luck and blah blah, and I just, I just got a little excited doing that for good luck. And he would like touch figures and stuff like this. He also had like inappropriate card sleeves. They weren't like customs or anything like that, but if you've played any kind of card game, you know that there's places you can get some certain kinds of sleeves and stuff, which he thought he was the victim in. He thought he was being discriminated against in his version of things. He was telling us all about how he was the victim, and that it should be a safe place in card shops to express his love for like these characters and stuff. And I'm like, so yeah, he eventually got banned from that store for being inappropriate with merchandise. Don't worry, he still has 2 stores down. So another one. He ended up getting banned for just odor related to a chair, which I will say, if you own a card shop, there is no world where it is a smart idea to have cloth chairs. Most card shops you'll go into, now they sometimes will have the leather rolling chairs, or sometimes people will bring their own chairs in for like Magic Gathering or D&D or whatever. But most places have the foldable metal chairs for a reason. He kept coming in and using, now this one had apparently like a cloth office chair, and he kept using the cloth office chairs, and they ended up having to throw out 2 separate ones because of his odor. He once again claimed that he was a victim because he was sitting there so long, I guess for like D&D and stuff, was sitting there for so long that by the time they would leave, they could not get the smell out and had to throw them out. He once again pretended to be a victim in this, and was like, his version of the story was, oh, it's their fault because they should just clean it. It couldn't be that bad. Bro, you literally left streak in another store's chair and then refused to clean it. So yeah, I do believe that it was that bad. For the final store that he got banned from, which once again, pretending he's a victim in this, this is, from what he said, this was like before he started refusing to play with women, because even though he claims it's all because cheating, and that's why he won't play and women can't be good, apparently he had lost a game to a woman. In Magic the Gathering, it was Friday Night Magic, he lost a game to a woman, and absolutely lost his crap. Also, look at my little golden fries. So he apparently like flipped the table, was screaming and cussing at her, throwing stuff, and just screaming about how, the whole thing of, women's brains are real different, and she must have been cheating, and she must have had like some secret, somebody must have been behind him giving her answers or something. Like, dude was delusional, could not just accept that he lost, but apparently he completely lost his mind. My friend was apparently there for that night, flipping the table and everything, but he still, when he was telling the story, made it seem like it was rational and that he was the victim, and that he just did that because he was super upset that they wouldn't acknowledge that they were apparently cheating, because there's no way a woman beat him. I'll do some more story times after this. But that's part 2 of that particular guy, our little plob friend, as we're calling him. Here's a chicken sandwich and a burrito for the trauma I caused you by sharing my trauma of dealing with this man to you.